In the immediate aftermath of Zohran Mamdani winning in New York, you had Republicans saying the most grotesque, terrible stuff about him, that he should be disqualified. How the hell could you ever allow a Muslim to exist in America, let alone hold public office? He's gonna result in another 9/11. Laura Loomer's probably typing up another one of those tweets as I say this. Charlie Kirk implied that there's some connection between the fact that 9/11 happened and now a Muslim won a primary. It's grotesque stuff, but it turns out it can actually get worse. And I don't know if I actually predicted this yesterday. I don't know for sure, but in hindsight, it should have been predictable. They're not gonna be satisfied to just attack him for being Muslim. That's not enough. This is 2025. They disagree with him. Where do you think that's gonna go? What does a Republican do in 2025 when they don't agree with someone? Now, I know what you're thinking. Shoot them. We're not there yet. No, we're not to the actual murder, but they do want to deport him. They're already saying that you should deport him. Why? What crime did he commit? He's popular, I guess. He could be the next mayor of New York City. I guess that's pretty much it. And I'm gonna show you, let's bring up this first tweet. This is from the New York Young Republican Club. I guarantee every single one of those New York Young Republicans believes that they're like the next Crowder, debate me, bro, or whatever. Well, debate me, bro, was always a scam. Now it's deport him, bro. He disagrees with me. I don't wanna have to run against that. I don't want to have to engage in like the free marketplace of ideas. He's popular. His positions have widespread support. Please get him out of this country. Please. And this is totally a strength move. You're not terrified at all. You're not terrified of running against him. And so they not only did it, they tagged Stephen Miller and Tom Homan, which means that because we live in this messed up society, there's at least a 10% chance he gets deported at this point. And I know there's no cause whatsoever, but you don't think that they're digging through every bit of paperwork he ever did to find something 13 years ago where he used the wrong punctuation so they can send him to Alligator Alcatraz or South Sudan or something? Again, I'm not saying it's likely. I think there are still some lines that they're not ready to cross. We'll get to that in a year or two, but they're certainly excited about it. And so you have Mamdani had to respond to a call for his deportation. We're gonna talk, by the way, about what they think their excuse is to actually deport him. But anyway, so they're using the 1954 Communist Control Act. So they're saying that basically because he's a communist, which you could try to persuade people of that if you want, they can deport him from the country because that would be breaking the law. Like, what are we doing, man? Again, that's not even the reason they want to deport him. It's that he's popular, and I don't want to discount the fact that they're terrified of brown people. I don't want to discount that at all. But and you might think, well, but aren't we past that? I mean, he is a U.S. citizen. The ICE has deported at least 70 US citizens at this point. And by the way, I want to criticize myself. We've covered some of those. We certainly haven't covered 70. It's routine now. Can you imagine if Joe Biden had deported one MAGA US citizen? That would be it. They'd be breaking the windows on the White House or whatever. Did you even know that they've deported 70 US citizens? Well, anyway, you're gonna find out a lot more about this and about the plot to get rid of him, because it isn't just the New York Young Republicans, and it's all over Twitter, obviously. Donald Trump is now moving in that direction too. Truth Social posted, "It's finally happened. The Democrats have crossed the line." We'll return to that. Zohran Mamdani, he spelled it right. I'm gonna give him credit for that. "A 100% communist lunatic has just won the Dem primary and is on his way to becoming mayor." A nice little neg towards Adams, who's still technically running against him. "We've had radical lefties before, but this is getting a little ridiculous. He looks terrible." I'm gonna pause there for a second. Dude, you doth protest a bit too much. You can have whatever problem you want with Zohran Mamdani. You can think he's a communist or a lunatic or whatever. The guy's a good looking guy. That is not your actual problem. You're telling me, Donald Trump, that if you could press a button and swap physical appearances with Zohran Mamdani right now, you wouldn't break your finger jamming it as hard as you can? Get the hell out of there with that. Anyway, he goes on to say his voice is grating. Dude, your voice is great. My impersonation of you is grating. We're all sick of the sound of your voice. Anyway, he's not very smart. All that means is you know what that code means. He's black or brown. That's literally all it means. He's got AOC plus 3 dummies all. They are, again, admittedly, women of color, backing him. And even our great Palestinian senator crying Chuck Schumer is groveling over him. Yes, this is a big moment in the history of our country. So look, this is weird because like, I don't want to idealize the distant past where it doesn't deserve it. Like before Trump, the country sucked. I was around in the run up to the war in Iraq. We were a very Islamophobic society. And yet, I don't know, I feel like this is still, I don't think this would have flown back then. First of all, saying that because the guy's Muslim, you get to deport him, but also the Palestinian slur. It just seems a little bit gross even for them, but that's not the important part. The important part is that Trump sent that out. If Trump actually thought that Mamdani's a radical that can't possibly win, and they're gonna tie every Democrat to him, and that's gonna be the end of the Democratic Party, would he be freaking out about it? Would they all be freaking out about it? No, they'd be happy about it. They're freaking out because they suspect that he will be like AOC plus 3. Wildly popular. I think that's their fear. They don't want to see that group expanding in size, and that might be what we're seeing. By the way, I'm just gonna put this up briefly. I don't really feel like, I don't want to think about her. I don't want to make you think about her. But Laura Loomer is still on the BS. I mean, Laura Loomer is one of the most wildly Islamophobic people in the world. She has literally no psychological or emotional capacity to deal with the fact that a Muslim exists, let alone that they might hold elected office. And so she's saying that he should be federally barred from running for office and criminally charged if they just designate the Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization. And admittedly, this is a little bit three-dimensional chess for me. I don't necessarily understand her argument because he's not in the Muslim Brotherhood, and I feel like that would have to be a part of it. But she is one of the most powerful, crazy people in America, so there's probably something to it. But anyway, this is the country they want. You cannot run for office unless you are white, unless you are Christian. They might allow Jewish candidates if they're Republicans, but that's it. And yeah, and we will federally, anybody who's popular and might actually take power, we're gonna set aside our old strategy of just taking away the power of the office before you get sworn in. And now we're gonna literally start barring popular insurgent candidates from running. So we're at that point. We're in the Putin thing. We're in the fun authoritarian period, and they're all very excited about that. Well, I think Zohran Mamdani is actually a pattern, like a template, I guess, that other candidates could run on. I think there are lessons to be learned there. At the same time, though, there are definitely lessons to be learned about the Republican Party, and they're making it very clear.
If you enjoyed that, then make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming a member. So you're probably wondering, why would I do that? Well, when you do that, you get access to bonus content that I make every single week, and it's a lot of fun. You get custom emojis and more. If you join at tier 3, by the way, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself. And you'll get all that going forward, but you'll also unlock years of the back catalog that is literally 100 or more bonus clips and top 10 lists and debates and more. So what are you waiting for?